Hi, this is John Grant with the REI Policy Institute in Washington, D.C., March 1st, 2016. This week, I just want to discuss primarily the newsletter that we have coming out. If you're interested in it, you can go to our new website, reipolicy.com. You can subscribe to it. It's only $99 for 12 months. It's a very good deal. But this week, the things that I discuss, I start off with, we revamped it a little bit in terms of the sections. The first section talks about opportunities that we've seen for distressed property buyers in the last 30 days. It includes some analysis of some housing data. It includes some other items that we've seen in the news and some analysis regarding the proliferation now of the 3% down payment mortgage products. So we think overall there are definitely opportunities out there for distressed investors, and we kind of go a little more in depth in the newsletter, try to back that up with facts. We also have some interesting data on home equity loans as well, and some potential opportunities for distressed property buyers there as well. The other thing that we talk about is policy issues. I go more in depth into what is really a proposed reshaping of the tax on home sales, the cap gains tax. There's a proposal that's in a couple municipalities that would broaden that tax and redirect it. I talk about the consequences of that and really what I'm doing as a lobbyist to try to nip that at the bud and not make it not only more expensive for people to buy and sell houses and damage our industry, but I'm also don't want this to become another source of revenue for consumer groups. And there's a lot in our newsletter about that as well, because we touch on that Bank of America Freddie Mac 3% down payment program, and one of the items that we talk about in that is their third partner in it, which is a gentleman who founded a consumer group that has been incredibly critical of this industry. If you check this YouTube page, I think it's probably the last video I did, I went on about him a bit. So we do some analysis about that, and then we provide the monthly housing data numbers. Again, short sales have doubled as a percentage since I worked on, along with a lot of other people, the tax extenders package that got the Mortgage Forgiveness Debt Relief Act passed. So we've seen some improvement there. But if you're on our website, you can see other areas that we want to work with FHFA on to continue to expand short sale opportunities. And we cover a lot of other transactions as well, but that one has been of particular interest since the act passed late last year. So again, if you go to the website, reipolicy.com, you can subscribe. It is a great deal, and there's a lot of great information in there. We try to get information that's actionable for folks, information that you can use to plan your business model for the future, and frankly, get stuff that you can't get anywhere else. I spent much of my career, and I still do, working in what's called political intelligence, where you make stock purchases based on analysis of legislative and regulatory proposals and gathering information about what may happen and what things should look like. So it's not a matter of looking into a crystal ball, it's a matter of doing your due diligence, and I hope to take the application of that I do with hedge funds and apply it to this industry as well, and I think give subscribers a real advantage. The last thing I'll touch on briefly, since it's happening tonight, is the election. I don't take any public position on any candidates. When you have my job, you don't have the luxury of saying, well, if this person wins the election, then I just can't do certain things. My job is to work with both sides of the aisle. That's just the nature of it. You have to do that if you're going to be a professional. If you're not a professional, then you say a lot of irresponsible things and post them on Facebook and everywhere else that isolate people or divide people. And my job is to unify the industry and do what is best for them. And what's best for them is to stay apolitical and instead work with everyone that I can to get an agenda and to get things that are good for this industry passed. But it seems pretty clear on the Democratic side that Secretary Clinton is on the track to win. At some point, I'm sure I'll be reaching out to her committee and talking to them. And on the Republican side, it's kind of interesting to watch the news coverage. You'd think this was a neck-and-neck race, but I mean, judging from what I'm seeing, Donald Trump is slaughtering everybody tonight. If any other candidate were doing this, those would be the types of words that were being used. This has caused a lot of people are unsettled in D.C. because there's sort of an establishment in D.C. What do you mean by the establishment? Well, there are people who have a vested interest in when a Republican wins, certain things happen. Their friends get jobs in the White House. They get certain lobbying contracts, things like that. And with Mr. Trump possibly winning, those things go away. So the criticism isn't about, look, it's people voting and this is the candidate they choose, then that's who they choose. The criticism is largely money driven. He's bad for establishment business, and that's a problem. But I think at the end of the day, he's got a pretty big lead here. There are rumors circulating in D.C. that there may be a challenge pre or during the convention, maybe even Mitt Romney, people trying to bring him back. I don't know how realistic that is. If the voters vote and whoever has the most delegates, generally gets the nomination. But anyway, we'll certainly reach out to his campaign as well and discuss, what it is we do. And look, I think given his background, there may be a bit of a better understanding there. But I would say, look, you never really know what you're going to get until someone gets into the White House. So, like I said at the offset here, my job is to work with whomever wins, whomever is in charge of the House and the Senate, to get our agenda passed. But I know this is a topic that, a lot of folks may be looking at, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents there. I think the Republicans have been on the brink of a civil war for a long time, sort of pitting the Rockefeller Republicans versus the moral majority. And it looks like this was the resurrection of the Rockefeller Republicans is taking place. So it's kind of going to be an interesting dynamic when we get to a general election of what happens. But anyway, thank you so much for listening. Again, please, reipolicy.com to subscribe. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel from there, and you can like us on Facebook and friend us on Facebook as well. Okay? Thank you.